Breaking news! Things are heated behind the scenes at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills fans, you won't believe what just happened. This news could change everything for next season. You need to know this now, because the details are mind-boggling. Before I tell you everything, make sure you've already hit the like button if you live and breathe Buffalo Bills all year long, and feel like this is our year no matter what. So put on your helmet, shoulder pads, and Bills jersey, and if possible comment "Go Bills." So let's get to the point. The Buffalo Bills are making moves, and one name at the center of it all, Matt Milano. If you're a Bills fan, this may be a tough pill to swallow, but it's something we need to talk about. Milano just took a pay cut, and while it may seem like a simple financial move, the deeper implications of this decision could shape the future of Buffalo's defense in ways we're not quite ready for. Let's break it down. Milano was set to count $15.8 million against the 2025 salary cap, but after agreeing to a pay cut, that number drops to $3.66 million, freeing up crucial cap space for the team. Don't think Milano simply gave away free money, though. His contract is now loaded with incentives based on playing time, sacks, and interceptions. If he hits those milestones, he can earn it all back. This structure is eerily similar to what the Bills did last season with Von Miller, who also took a pay cut but was given the chance to recoup his earnings through performance-based incentives. Milano estava definido para cantar $15.8 milhões contra o teto salarial de 2025. Mas depois de concordar com corte salarial, esse número cai $3.66 milhões, liberando espaço crucial no teto salarial para o time. Mas neo pense que Milano simplesmente do dinheiro de graça, SCU contrato agora está repleto de incentivos baseados em tempo de jogo, sacks e intercepticos. Se ele atingir essas marcas, ele pode ganhar tudo de volta. Essa estrutura é assustadoramente semelhante ao que os Bills fizeram na temporada passada com Von Miller, que também aceitou corte salarial, mas teve a chance de recuperar seus ganhos por meio de incentivos baseados em desempenho. But here's where it gets interesting. Milano's contract now voids after the 2025 season. That means unless something drastic happens, he'll be a free agent in 2026. The Bills will take an $11 million dead cap hit that year if they don't re-sign him, and right now, all signs are pointing toward 2025 being his last season in Buffalo. It's a tough reality, especially considering how crucial he's been to this defense, but the writing is on the wall. Now, before you panic and assume Milano is on his last legs, let's put things into perspective. Linebackers in the NFL are playing well into their 30s at a high level. Just look at guys like Levante David, Bobby Wagner, Eric Kendricks, and Demario Davis, all still making a significant impact past the age of 30. Milano, who turns 31 in July, has plenty of good football left in him if he can stay healthy. And with free agency looming, you better believe he'll be motivated to put up a dominant season to maximize his value on the open market. So, where does this leave the Bills? For one, this move thrusts Dorian Williams into the spotlight. The 2023 third-round pick made massive strides from his rookie season to last year, going from a liability on the field to a player who looked like he belonged. If Milano is indeed gone after this season, Williams could be the guy Buffalo turns to as the long-term answer at linebacker alongside Terrell Bernard. And let's not forget about the rest of the linebacker room. Right now, the Bills have Terrell Bernard, Milano, Williams, Joe Andre, Idefuan Ulofoshio, and Balin Spector under contract. But if Milano is gone in 2026, that depth suddenly looks a lot shakier. Could the Bills be looking at adding a mid-round draft pick at linebacker? It's certainly possible. They might also consider bringing in a veteran to add experience to a young room. Last year, the Bills signed Deion Jones and Nicholas Morrow to provide stability. Could we see a similar move this offseason? Beyond linebacker, this shift also raises bigger questions about Buffalo's defensive identity moving forward. The team currently has just 66 players on the roster, but can carry up to 90 into training camp. That means 24 more names are coming. And when you start looking at the numbers at each position, some glaring needs pop up. Wide receiver, for example, currently has just 8 players, well short of the 13 they typically carry into camp. The offensive and defensive lines also need more bodies, and the secondary could use some reinforcements. If we're talking draft strategy, linebacker now moves up the priority list, but so do defensive tackle and cornerback. Buffalo only has 3 true outside corners, and with Taron Johnson holding down the nickel spot, the team could use a fresh injection of talent on the perimeter. Defensive tackle is also a concern. Daquan Jones and Larry Ogunjobi are both over 30, and while rookie Dwayne Carter adds youth to the position, another investment is needed for long-term stability. So where do the Bills go from here? General Manager Brandon Beane has some tough decisions ahead. The team has 10 draft picks and plenty of spots to fill, but the question is, which positions take priority? Will they go after a high-upside linebacker in the middle rounds to groom as Milano's replacement? Will they add another veteran defensive lineman to solidify the trenches? And what about wide receiver? Could another weapon for Josh Allen be on the horizon? This is a pivotal offseason for Buffalo. With Milano's future uncertain and key holes to fill across the roster, the moves they make now will shape the team's trajectory for years to come. But what do you think? Bills Mafia, is this the right move for Milano and the team? Should the Bills look to draft his replacement now, or do you think they'll try to keep him beyond 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. And let's not stop there, because this Matt Milano situation is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Buffalo Bills' evolving roster. The big question now is, what's the plan for the future of this defense? The moves made this offseason, particularly in the draft, will tell us a lot about where Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott see this team heading. Milano's contract restructuring doesn't just signal a potential departure, it forces Buffalo to think long-term about the linebacker position. Right now, Terrell Bernard is locked in as the leader of the unit, and Dorian Williams is primed to take the next step. But what happens if injuries strike? We've already seen how quickly depth can disappear. And that's why the Bills could be eyeing another linebacker in the upcoming draft. And let's not forget about the impact of injuries. Milano has missed significant time due to injury in the past, and while he's one of the best coverage linebackers in the league when healthy, there's no guarantee he plays a full season. That means Dorian Williams has to be ready to step up sooner rather than later. His growth from an unplayable rookie to a solid contributor last season was impressive, but can he be a long-term solution? That remains to be seen. And what about Balen Spector? He's been on the roster, but injuries have prevented him from making a meaningful impact. If the Bills are serious about setting up their future at linebacker, Spector could be on the chopping block. A mid-round draft pick could easily push him off the roster, and if the Bills do add a linebacker in the draft, that's a sign that they're thinking beyond just 2025. The bigger picture, Buffalo's roster depth, this isn't just about one position group, the entire roster is still in flux. The Bills only have 66 players on the roster right now, and with 90 spots available for training camp, 24 more names are coming. Where will they come from? Let's break it down position by position and see what's missing. Wide receiver. The Bills have 8 receivers, but they've typically had 13 heading into training camp. That means 5 more are likely to be added, whether through the draft, undrafted free agents, or even another veteran signing. The starting trio of Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and Curtis Samuel looks solid, but more depth is needed. Don't be surprised if a mid-round pick is spent here. Tight end. The Bills have 4 tight ends, but one, Armani Rogers, is out for the season with an Achilles injury. That means Buffalo really only has 3 healthy tight ends, and they've typically carried 5 in camp. Expect at least 1 or 2 additions, possibly